What we call pop-up parties. This is the social media that went out. Bring your own booze, bring your own weed. Bring your own weed, drugs. This is the party. This is where it started. Starts at a house. Then it goes from there, and these kids then, not just a small group, large group, 200 of them, end up in Blythewood. I want people to watch. This is probably only not even half. This is a quarter of the kids. These are 3 different locations, the Waffle House, car wash, and a gas station, that they invaded the town of Blythewood. And I want you to watch this video and see them run when the guns start. Hear the shots?
So this is what they call a pop-up party. Basically, what we used to call a block party, but it's a little bit different when you got the internet. You know, we used to get a group of people together, hang out, chill out with some music, maybe block off one of the little streets or whatever. And mostly we used to hear about that because, my folks wasn't letting us block off no street. You better not go out there and block off no darn street. But back in the day, they used to call it a block party. But now, the jits call it a pop-up party. So they throw a flyer out on social media and tell everybody where to go. And in no time flat, you got hundreds of teenage children descending onto an area. It could be any public area. It could be the mall. It could be a street. It could be practically anywhere. We've seen them in Chicago. We've seen them all over the country, actually. And the crazy thing is so much power built up in this social media connection, or this social media network. You can reach so many people at one time. And I think the kids get a kick out of just seeing how much of an impact they can make when they show up to these places. So, they get there and now they've taken over an area. Now you don't see it coming. You're just an innocent bystander, just somewhere pumping gas, and they descend onto that gas station and it's flooded with people, and you're in the middle of something, you don't know what's going on. So being a child with that kind of power, being able to reach out through social media, we would have had to make phone calls, let everybody call everybody they know, hope everybody could get there, and it was very limited. Because and then we could still muster up a crowd in the big cities, but it was nothing like this. They can do this within minutes or hours. They can say at 2:00 we're gonna ascend. In 1 hour we're gonna ascend. We're gonna hook up at this place, and then you got all these hundreds of people showing up. And with kids having this kind of power, it's scary, right? So you just doing your natural thing, your normal thing, and hundreds of teenagers just pop up. Bam. So once they start feeling the power generated by this and the excitement that comes from it, being a teenager, they started to get rambunctious and act crazy. And it was only a matter of time before they started pulling out weapons and, shooting and everything else. I mean, in Chicago, they taking down police cars. They taking down. I mean, they just. I mean, breaking into cars. They're doing everything because they can do what they want to, because it's so many people at one time catching you off guard. You know, the venue doesn't know they're coming. The customers at the venue doesn't know they're coming. The people in the neighborhood don't know they're coming. The police department doesn't know they're coming. You know, when you have a big party, that's why you have security, because you know that when you get a lot of people together, things can happen and people can get hurt. Well, there's no security for a pop-up party. You know, law enforcement does not know anything about a pop-up party. And before you know it, they can pop up at multiple different locations. You know, they pop up at one party this time, and then, okay, y'all, we popping up over here, and then we popping up over there. They might do 2 or 3 pop-up parties in one evening or one day. So this particular one, these badass children then decided they're gonna shoot up the place. And another thing, when we was going to parties, you might have to worry about 1 shot, 2 shots, at the most 3, 4 shots. Okay, but the fools these days, because they got no home training, the internet is raising them. They think that life is a video game. They gonna put up 60 shots, 60 plus shots. First of all, if you know anything about guns and ammo, this is a waste of ammunition. What you shooting 60 times for? So we're gonna take a look at what the police officer has to say about this, because this kind of stuff you only see in the wars. Take a look.
Over 60 rounds were fired. This is something you'd expect to hear in Iraq or Afghanistan during the war. This is in Blythewood. This is the town of Blythewood. We're going to play this video here. You'll watch these individuals here. You'll see them all pull their guns out. Guns, shooting. On the 10th, we made our first 2 arrests were made. 18 years old, high school student, in high school currently. 18 years old, in high school. There was kids from Columbia, Camden, Casey, Blythewood, 200 of them. There was an individual there that we've recognized that had an ankle monitor on, who was out on bond for murder.
Now, he just said it. This is what you hear about in Iraq, Afghanistan. This kind of firepower. This is what it sounds like when you're in war. And technically we are in war. And quite honestly, to be more specific, we at war with evil. Good is at war with evil. This is a fight between good and evil, right? Spiritual battle, okay? Bible talks about it. Now, what I forgot to mention is that this video here is part 2 to yesterday's video, because this is the same city that they had the mall shootout in just a day ago. A few days ago. This is happening repeatedly in this small town in South Carolina. This ain't Brooklyn, New York. This ain't Harlem, New York. You know, this ain't Oakland, California. This is a little town in South Carolina. I don't know where the world is coming to. In fact, I don't even know where the world is coming from no more, because the world been bad. But it's getting down to the point where, just think about it. These are children acting like this. What are their children when they grow on to be parents? What are their children going to act like? What are we in for? Like the video if you got anything from it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we're talking news, politics, and culture. That's what it's about here. Out of the box, I'm Law Hilson. Thanks for your time. Check you later. Peace.